the invisible weight you carry every day. Have you ever wondered why life can feel exhausting, even when nothing is obviously wrong? You wake up, you go to work, you handle your responsibilities. From the outside, everything seems fine, yet something feels heavy. Not the kind of weight you can place on a scale, not the kind anyone else can see. It's the weight of unfinished fears, old expectations, invisible pressures you've carried for so long that they no longer feel separate from you. Most people assume their suffering comes from difficult circumstances, a stressful job, financial problems, difficult people. Sometimes that's true, but often the greatest burden isn't what is happening around you. It's what you're still carrying within you. The need to be accepted, the fear of making mistakes, the constant pressure to prove yourself, the memories that refuse to stay in the past. These burdens rarely arrive all at once. They accumulate quietly. One disappointment, one insecurity, one compromise at a time, until eventually they become part of your identity. The Stoics understood something that many people spend years resisting. Freedom is not always found by adding more. Sometimes it begins by removing what no longer belongs. Because there comes a moment when growth is no longer about becoming someone new. It's about finally putting down the weight you were never meant to carry, the addiction to approval. Few things shape a person's life more quietly than the desire to be liked. It starts innocently. You want people to think well of you. You want to avoid unnecessary conflict. You want to belong. Nothing seems wrong with that. But over time, something changes. You begin measuring your choices through the eyes of other people. Before speaking, you wonder how it will be received. Before making a decision, you imagine who might disagree. Before being yourself, you ask whether yourself will be accepted. Most people never notice when this happens. The adjustment is gradual. A hidden opinion stays unspoken. A personal goal gets delayed. A dream becomes negotiable. Not because it lacks importance, because approval feels safer. The strange thing is that approval never stays satisfied for long. One compliment creates the need for another. One moment of validation creates the desire for more. Like drinking salt water, it promises relief while increasing thirst. This is why so many people feel exhausted without understanding why. They are no longer living their lives. They are managing impressions. The Stoics believed that peace becomes impossible the moment your emotional stability depends on something outside your control. And nothing is less controllable than another person's opinion. People will misunderstand you. Some will disagree. Some will criticize. That is not a failure of life. That is life. The moment you stop chasing universal approval, something remarkable happens. You begin hearing your own voice again. But sometimes the loudest critic was never outside of you. It was waiting inside all along. The war against yourself. Many people spend years fighting a battle no one else can see. A battle against themselves. Every mistake becomes evidence. Every setback becomes a verdict. Every weakness becomes proof that they are somehow falling short. At first, this inner pressure can feel productive. It sounds responsible, disciplined, even ambitious. But look closely. There is a difference between learning from a mistake and turning that mistake into your identity. Imagine someone who misses an opportunity at work. The event lasts a moment, yet the mind keeps replaying it for months, maybe years. The mistake ends. The punishment continues. This is how self-judgment quietly steals peace. The mind becomes a courtroom where every flaw is presented as evidence and every success is dismissed as insufficient. No matter how much progress is made, the verdict never changes. Still not enough. Still not there. Still need more. The Stoics approached weakness differently. They believed honesty was necessary. But honesty is not self-attack. You can acknowledge your flaws without becoming defined by them. You can recognize a failure without turning it into a permanent label. Growth begins when you stop treating every imperfection as a threat. Because perfection was never the goal. Wisdom was. A mistake is a moment. A setback is a moment. Neither deserves to become your entire story. And when the war against yourself finally begins to quiet down, another challenge emerges. One that doesn't live in the past. It lives in the future, living too far ahead. There is a strange habit that steals more peace than most people realize. Living in a future that does not exist. The body is here, but the mind is somewhere else. Tomorrow, next month, 5 years from now. It keeps running ahead, searching for certainty. What if the meeting goes badly? What if the business fails? What if the relationship doesn't last? The questions never end. Neither does the tension they create. Many people believe this constant worrying is a form of preparation. They tell themselves they are being responsible, careful, practical. But there is a difference between planning and mentally living inside every possible disaster. One creates clarity. The other creates exhaustion. Think about how often your mind has predicted outcomes that never happened. Arguments that never occurred. Problems that never arrived. Fears that quietly disappeared on their own. Yet your body carried the stress as if those events were already real. This is the trap. The mind rehearses pain long before life delivers it. Sometimes life never delivers it at all. The Stoics understood that uncertainty is not a flaw in existence. It is part of existence. No amount of worry can make the future obey you. No amount of fear can guarantee safety. Most of the battles consuming your energy today exist only in imagination. And the more time you spend living ahead of your life, the less time you spend living it. But while some people are trapped by tomorrow, others remain trapped by yesterday, the chains of the past. Not every burden comes from the future. Some come from years ago. A mistake you still regret. A betrayal you still replay. A version of yourself you cannot forgive. The strange thing about the past is that it no longer exists. Yet it can still control the present. Not because it is powerful, because it is repeatedly revisited. Many people wake up carrying old stories before the day has even begun. They relive conversations that ended years ago. They replay decisions that cannot be changed. They revisit failures as if one more review might somehow rewrite history. But the past has never changed through repetition. Only your relationship with it can change. Real healing is not forgetting. It is no longer allowing old experiences to dictate who you are today. The lesson can remain. The wisdom can remain. The memory can remain. The suffering does not have to remain. This is where many people get stuck. They mistake holding on for responsibility. They mistake guilt for growth. They mistake resentment for strength. But carrying a wound forever does not prove that it mattered. It only proves that you never put it down. The Stoics believed that attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Whatever receives your attention gains influence. And if yesterday receives more attention than today, yesterday begins shaping your life. The moment you loosen your grip on the past, space begins to open. Space for possibility. Space for peace. And eventually, space to discover who you have become beyond the stories you keep repeating, the identity you have outgrown. One of the hardest things to release is not a memory. It is an identity. The version of yourself you have been carrying for years. Maybe you became the person who always says, "I am enough," Yes, the one everyone depends on. The one who never complains, never slows down, never asks for help. At first, these roles may have served you well. They helped you survive. They helped you belong. They helped you build a place in the world. But what happens when the role that once protected you begins limiting you? What happens when strength becomes emotional isolation? When responsibility becomes constant pressure? When achievement becomes an inability to rest? Many people continue performing identities they outgrew long ago. Not because those identities still fit, because change feels uncomfortable. Others have grown used to a certain version of them. Friends expect it. Family expects it. Colleagues expect it. And sometimes, so do they. But growth rarely asks for permission. It asks for honesty. The Stoics understood that character is not the same thing as a label. Labels can change. Roles can change. Circumstances can change. What matters is the values beneath them. The principles that remain when every title disappears. There comes a point in life when holding on becomes harder than letting go, when pretending becomes more exhausting than being authentic. Growth begins in that moment, the moment you stop protecting an outdated version of yourself and start becoming who you are now, not who you were, not who others expect you to be, but who life has been quietly shaping you into all along. What remains when you let go? If you've followed this journey to this point, you may have noticed a pattern. Many of the things that steal our peace are not physical. They are psychological. The need to be approved. The habit of judging ourselves harshly. The fear of what might happen tomorrow. The attachment to what happened years ago. The identities we continue carrying long after they have stopped serving us. Most people spend their lives trying to gain more control, more certainty, more validation, more guarantees. Yet the deeper truth is often the opposite. Peace rarely arrives through control. It arrives through release. Not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you stop fighting battles that were never yours to win. You stop asking everyone to understand you. You stop demanding perfection from yourself. You stop carrying yesterday into every new day. And little by little, something changes. Your mind becomes quieter. Your decisions become clearer. Your energy returns. Not because the world changed, because your relationship with it changed. The Stoics understood that freedom is not found in controlling events. It is found in mastering your response to them. And perhaps that is the real lesson. You do not need to become someone else. You do not need a new identity. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment. You only need the courage to release what no longer belongs in your life. Because the life you are searching for may not be waiting for something to arrive. It may be waiting for something to leave. And when that happens, what remains is something far more valuable than certainty. Self-trust, clarity, and a peace that no longer depends on the world behaving the way you want it to.